All right, Girl Scouts. Moving on to step 2, let's talk about some of the things you can do to help prepare for your day in the trees. In your badge guide, they list a little bit of language, some terms related to tree climbing, and we're going to cover that in this video to help you understand a bigger picture of tree climbing. This is not stuff you have to memorize for your day in the trees, because actually when you come out to climb, the terminology you do need to know, we're going to cover that day. So you'll get it all down that day. This stuff is just good for information, all right? So to get started, one of the terms they list is dead branches. The reason that's listed is when we're climbing trees for fun, recreational tree climbing, we're climbing strong, healthy trees, okay? Now dead branches, we want to keep an eye out for large, brittle branches that could present a problem for us as we're climbing, okay? So before you climb, those are going to be taken care of. So we'll take care of that. They've already been taken care of in the trees, so we just don't have that large brittle stuff up there, all right? Climbing system, all right? So the climbing system we use to climb a tree is called a moving rope system. And to show you what that's like, we're hanging on this carabiner. It's attached to our saddle, so we're sitting and hanging on this end of the rope. This rope goes up, over the branch, and back down to the ground. So when I pull down on this rope, this end of the rope goes up, and when this end comes down, this end goes up. So if you can picture up there around the branch, what's happening is that rope is moving across the top of the branch. That's why we call this a moving rope system. All right? Now you might be asking, how do I get this rope up in the tree? All right, so I've got to get the rope up over a branch, and I can use a throw ball. So this is a weighted bag on string. So I can throw this up over a branch, and once it's hanging over the branch, I can tie the rope on and then pull the rope back up into the tree and over the branch. So that's how I would place my rope in the tree. Well, I can only throw so high. So I can use a slingshot. I can put the throw ball in here, and I can shoot that up over a branch. So I can use a slingshot to get my rope set higher in the tree. Bounce test. The bounce test is something we do when we're ready to start climbing, all right? And this is something we do prior to you showing up, because after I've set my rope in the tree and I tie all my knots and hitches and to form my climbing system, what I need to do is set the knots. And to do that, what I'm going to do is basically just sit down in it, which bounces and weights and loads the hitch, okay? It gets the knots and hitch set, ready for climbing. Ceiling. Ceiling is pretty interesting. What a ceiling is when you're climbing, you get energized. We're getting off the ground, we're getting higher. So it's kind of fun. That's part of what I like about tree climbing, is it's very energizing. Well, we all reach a ceiling. And what that is as you're climbing up, what you're going to find actually is when you look down, it feels like you're a lot higher than if you were on the ground looking up to where you're at. All right. So we get all this energy and emotion going on, and we finally reach this point where it's like, you know, I've climbed high enough. I don't think I can climb higher. And so you just decide, do you sit here and take in the view, or do you head on back down to the ground? All right. So you've reached a ceiling. All right. What's really cool about a ceiling, though, is the more comfortable you become and the more confident you become in your climbing abilities, you're generally able to climb higher with each subsequent climb, meaning you're able to raise the ceiling. When we all hit ceilings, it's just at different heights, right? We all have different comfort levels, right? So that's the language they give you in the book. That hopefully gives you some insight onto some of that. Now, you might be wondering, what muscle groups? Is there something you can do to prepare for the climb? What muscle groups are we going to work? So I'm going to show you the technique we use for climbing, and that'll help show you the muscle groups we use. So what happens is we're going to be sitting and hanging in our rope, hanging in our saddle. The first thing we're going to do to go up is we're going to lift our legs up so we can move our foot loops. By lifting our legs up, we are engaging the core or the abs. Then we will stand up so we can slide the climbing knot up. So we'll be using our legs for standing. So the two muscle groups we use are our core or abs and our legs. So anything you can do to work and strengthen your core or your abs, it's probably going to help you with your climbing. All right? So things like squats, sit-ups, leg lifts, something that's working the core or the legs to strengthen. If you do yoga, a number of yoga poses and routines are focusing on strengthening the core, all right? So any of that could benefit you. Now that said, we have a lot of people who come climb to us. Most have never climbed before. Not only that, most people aren't even going to prepare for it. Yet when you come, because of the climbing system we're using, most everyone, if you have a general level of fitness, are going to be able to climb. Okay? So those are some things you can do to help prepare yourself, hopefully give you an idea of the climbing system we'll be climbing on. And I hope you're getting ready and excited for your big day in the trees.